What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be a curator today. Guys, just a discussion I wanted to have here in the museum here on a Friday. We're kicking back, we're relaxing, enjoying ourselves. Uh, a discussion about Mego Corporation. Now, earlier in the week, I had a good friend of mine, good collector buddy friend of mine by the name of Dwayne Pickney. I want to give him a shout out because he actually got a conversation started on Collector's Dungeon. But he sent me a message and kind of wanted to know my thoughts on the whole Mego Corp situation, where they're going, what they're doing, what the plans are, what can we expect from these guys? But more importantly, how do I view this from my eyes? And naturally, I said, yeah, I'll definitely like to put my 2 cents in on it. But it got me thinking after that, and reading a lot of the comments on the situation regarding Mego. It got me thinking really about where Mego is going as a company, their plans, how they're handling this whole situation as far as not having product out here, competition with NECA, competition with FTC, the disenchantment that has divided a lot of collectors as far as their feelings towards Mego. I want to keep some. I'm gonna keep the politics out of this, because I can go on for days about the politics of Mego Corporation and how I feel about that. But that's really not. That's neither here nor there. It's really based on where I see Mego at right now with their product, what they have coming out, supposedly within the next 2, 3, 4 months. And I'm trying to be generous and fair because at the same time, guys, we're all fans of Mego. At some point in time, we were all fans, okay? That's something I think we all can agree on. Now, where that divide started to happen and where did that disconnect start to happen at, I think every collector as an individual only knows that. I have tons of their product. If you can just see back there, I have tons of their product, multiples. I've been buying stuff. So this, for me to stop on a dime and say, well, I'm done with Mego. Me personally, I'll be lying to you guys because I have Wave 3 subscribers and collector buddies of mine wanted to know that I have Wave 3 on pre-order, and I do. Some subscribers wanted to know, was I canceling those orders? No, I'm not canceling those orders. I never thought about canceling those pre-orders. I never had the intention on canceling those pre-orders for Wave 8. So yes, I'm getting Wave 8. I am not happy with some of Mego's choices in Wave 8. I have not been happy with some of Mego's choices throughout the entire waves 1 through 7. There has been some, in my humble opinion, some poor decisions. Some decisions that were put at the foot of Target? Is that possible? Is it Target's fault that we have Tootie and Joe Polnicek and Married with Children? Is it their fault? You know, Migos been on record saying yes to some degree that's they're in a partnership. This was an agreement. Who am I to say yay or nay? What I can say, it was a poor decision. Obviously, because we don't like those figures, and we don't like some of the figures in Wave 8. And I want to kind of keep the focus on Wave 8, because Wave 8 will be deciding, to me, and I've stated this, I'm on a record for stating this, one way or the other, Wave 8 Mego figures will either make or break Mego. And what I mean by that is not necessarily it's going to put them out of business. I think so much is riding on Wave 8 to really be a hit or to be somewhat of a success financially. It's important that these figures, these action figures, sell for Wave 8. It has to sell, because if it doesn't, it really puts Mego behind an 8-ball that I believe they were already behind 2 to 3, maybe 4 waves ago, these action figures. I read some comments, and I agree with a lot of the comments too, from some of the collectors. One particular comment was that I believe Wave with the monster figures, I would like to see, personally, I would like to see more generic styled monsters. I would like to see Mego go away or move away gradually, if they can, from these big licensing situations, with the fact that they have the need that they feel that they have to have big name monsters. I don't need a big name monster. You can create some type of a swamp creature and give it some type of generic name. And if it's cool enough, because guys, at the end of the day, if a figure is cool enough, people are going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. Your casual collector is going to buy it. And we'll get into that casual collector conversation in a little bit. People are going to buy it. People are going to be more apt to buy things that are visually pleasing to the eye, especially at Mego's price point. Now, we can talk about Mego on some levels in a negative sense, but one thing they do have going for them is the price point. I would like to see Mego build on that price point to the point where they could take advantage of that price point. If you're adding or subtracting away from these figures as far as clothing, accessories, etc., and you still want to keep it in that cheap $12.99, $14.99 price point, make the figures attractive to your buyers. And I'm sure that Migos, their execs and their design teams are sitting around a big table and discussing these possibilities. But one collector had another great idea. Migos not connecting enough with their fan base. To me, their fan base will never be anybody under 18, will never be anybody in their 20s. They're just too young. Mego is a toy company that was originated, as far as their Mego figures, 8-inch action figures. We know Mego Corp started back in the 50s, but their figures, the superhero line, the Action Jackson, these guys were originated in the early 1970s. So that's where I like to pick up Mego at as a company for me, and for the millions of collectors like myself that grew up in the 1970s collecting this stuff. So at the end of the day, what you have is a fan base that's roughly between the ages of the mid to late 40s, 50s, and maybe to some of the, in their 60s. That's your fan base. That's who you're catering to. Whether you want to accept that or not, that's who you're catering to. That's your fan base. And if you're not connecting with your fan base, if you're not getting the word out, if you're not giving us a voice to say what we want, what we would like to see. Now, I know some guys are going to say, yeah, but we did that. We did that. We did that. Yes and no. You did it, but I'm in these groups. I read the comments. I read the collectors' comments and what they would like to see, and then I see a representative from Mego respond to that. And the response is generally always, well, that's going to be tough for a licensing deal. Not enough people will like this. We don't have a big enough, this particular character won't have a big enough fan base, and so on and so forth. And that's generally how these conversations in the groups, that's how they go. So is it frustrating as a collector? Yes. Is it frustrating as a fan of Mego? Yes. But what's more infuriating and frustrating is to have a conversation like this and then get bashed over the head for it. I've read hundreds of comments on my channel, on other channels, in all of the Mego groups that suggest this. It's very difficult to have a conversation, a constructive conversation, not a, somebody just complaining, but a constructive conversation. That's where it's tough at, and that's where I think the divide has become wider and wider and wider. So, in my opinion, we go to the casual collector. The casual collector is quite simply being frozen out of this equation, because your money is going to be generated from people like me. Big time collectors that are putting a lot of money into their collections, that want to expand on new and exciting action figures. That's who's really buying this stuff. And I, as a collector, as a museum curator, for me, I'm only putting my money into things that I believe or I enjoy. That's really going to be good for my collection. And I know somebody gonna say real quick, well, M.I.B, you're buying Wave 8, and to a lot of people, Wave 8 is horrible. No one's giving Wave 8 a lot of love. You have a select few people that believe in Wave 8. But for the most part, a lot of people simply don't believe in Wave 8. They don't believe that these figures can withstand, the scrutiny, if you will, of a starved collecting community. They don't believe these figures can quench the thirst of this very thirsty collecting community that's been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for these figures. I'm going to put these figures to the test. I'm going to put Mego Corp to the test. I'm going to make this whole situation boil down from my channel, make it boil down to whether people are excited about these toys or if they're just not happy with the product. It's going to boil down one way or the other. I'm going to do reviews on these action figures, on these Wave 8 Mego action figures. I'm going to give my opinion, but I'm going to try to stay out of that because as a museum curator, I want you guys to make the decision. You know, I'm collecting history, and that's to answer a subscriber's question from a while back, a couple weeks back. Wanted to know, why do I collect? I collect for history, historical purposes. These toys, wow, no matter how we feel about these toys, and I'm talking about Wave 8 Mego figures, they are a part of history. Mego's return was a big part of toy history. Whether we want to admit that now that you have about 80% of the people upset with Mego, okay, they still are a part of history. This is still a part of toy history, and I want toy history. So that's why I'm seeking out these figures. That's why I'm adding these figures to my museum collection. And we're going to do reviews. We're going to discuss it. We're going to get your feedback on these action figures. We're going to really put this out on the table so everybody can see. Are these figures worth what you're going to pay for them? Should Mego scrap Wave 9 if it's coming out, or scrap Wave 10? How many waves they have after this? I know I keep hearing that there's more waves on the way. Me personally, I think they should, Mego and the higher ups at Mego should really focus just on Wave 8. Wave 8 is critical. Just like Wave 1 was critical. It's all how you start. And that start was very bumpy. We all know about the poor situation with the Target, you know, not finding these toys, not being able to get access to these toys. You know, I had friends that lived in Chicago that could find the green shirt Kirk, and I'm in Ohio, and I simply couldn't find him, you know, until 3, 4, 5, 6 months later. So we know the headaches, but those headaches and those mistakes were understandable because you were talking about a company that was just getting its legs back underneath them. You know, nearly a year and a half later, people are tired of those mistakes. They're tired of those excuses. They're tired of those type of situations. We want product. We want good product. We want fun product. We want product that we can display and put in our toy collections. That's why I said I could care less about who's running Mego. I could care less about any personal issues with Mego. I want the toys. Okay, I want the toys. Give me the toys. If you're not making toys, I can't deal with you. But if you're making toys, let me see how the toys look, and I'll take it from there. But we have to keep a positive or somewhat positive perspective on Wave 8. So like I said, I just don't want to shoot Wave 8 down before I actually have an action figure in my hands, so I can hold it, I can look at it, I can make that decision and that judgment on my own. I can't make that decision with seeing prototypes. I can't make that decision with seeing blurry, sketchy photos. I need to see an action figure, and those are other complaints. Mego has they really control the narrative here as far as what Wave 8 can and will be, because they're producing the toys. And it's really just that simple. They're producing the toys, and we need to see these toys in toy stores. We need to see these toys on toy websites like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Um, time, time is of the essence. We're talking about this because NECA has made. Looking at my Eddie mascot figure, but they, looking at my Nun figure, NECA's not sitting around waiting on anybody. So people are going to start spending their money elsewhere. And that's what people have been doing because of the long wait. So, Mego, you got to get your act together. You have to get things in gear, get things moving. I understand that we're in the midst of a pandemic, but a lot of these toy companies are in the same situation, dealing with the pandemic, and we're still seeing product. Now, there are some things with FTC, but FTC at least put information out, really alerting us to that. My whole deal with Mego is that you have good, honest, hardworking collectors that are fans of yours. Treat them right. Treat them right. Don't treat them right because M.I.B is saying treat them right. Okay? Treat them right because it's the right thing to do. We had they have the Mego ambassadors group. Use that group to get good quality information out to your fan bases, to your collectors, because trust me, that's an excellent way to move information if it's being done properly. I've heard some horror stories about that stuff, and like I said, I'm gonna steer away from the really just that type of negative deal. It has to be about the toys. It just has to be about the toys. And if it's not about the toys, then what's the point? What's the point? You guys had something good going with, I'm talking about Mego now. This is addressed to Mego. Mego, you had something good going with, all of these fantastic toys. We need more of what we want. More of what we want. I want great monsters. I want generic toys that are really cool. I don't care how you do it. Give us some toys, but give us quality. One collector, or actually two collectors I know, were on record as saying they would actually like to see the prices hiked up a little bit so you can put more quality into your action figures. That's fantastic. I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Raise the prices. I'll pay $24. I'll pay $25 for a figure that's put together as well as this NECA Nun figure from NECA. You know, this figure is nearly $40. I'm willing to pay that. You know, you get what the old saying is, you truly get what you pay for. I believe that. I honestly believe that you get what you pay for. And like I said, Migos had some hits and misses. They've had more misses than they've had hits. And that's in my honest, humble opinion as a collector of over 30 plus years in this industry of collecting and spending thousands, not hundreds, okay? Not hundreds, thousands of dollars on a yearly basis. So I'm definitely entitled to my opinion on that. Screaming Werewolf, Green Shirt Kirk, the first and second Romulan commander. What else was really cool? The gift pack. This is really cool. That was really cool. Stuff like that. You know, the first and the second, the Red Cape Dracula, things like that. You need more of that stuff. You need more of that stuff. Like I said, don't listen to me, Mego. You've seen the videos. You've seen my videos. I've given you guys good reviews. I've been honest with you guys. It's time to give something back. That's all I'm saying. Not to me. Not to me. To the fan base, to the people that are out here, that's still in your ambassadors groups, that's supporting you, that's prepared to spend hundreds of dollars with you. You owe it to those guys, you know. And once again, not because M.I.B. is saying that, you know. Everybody's saying that, for one. But give us what we want. Give us what we want. What we honestly want is good quality action figures, good quality toys. And I want you guys to comment on this video one way or the other. There's no wrong answers. This is not a test where you can fail. We just simply want you to apply your comments right underneath this video to give us your take on what you think Mego should do moving forward. Stick to the basics. Get creative. Try something new. Think outside of the box. Connect more with your fan base, the people that's actually putting money in your pockets so you can pay your employees. We want to hear all that. Guys, I think that for me, that pretty much covers it. Like I said, I want to support Mego. I want people, contrary to popular belief, people think that I won't support Mego. It's the furthest thing from the truth. Could care less about the politics. Once again, I could care less about the politics. I am prepared to support Mego if they put out fantastic product. And you're hearing that directly from the horse's mouth. Okay, I am prepared to support Mego if they're putting out fantastic product. If they don't put out fantastic product, and I'll know because I'm gonna use Wave 8 as a measuring stick, then I'll stop purchasing product from Mego. It's that simple. You know, I won't buy entire collections from Mego. In my mind, if they have one good figure out of 15 figures for Wave 9 or Wave 10 or whatever, then I'll buy that one figure that I think is the best out of the entire collection. If they have hit after hit after hit, home run after home run after home run, then that's what I'll do. I'll buy all of it. But Wave 8 will be that very important wave that'll make that decision for me. I'll see how much Mego cares about the fan base and its collectors and all of the people, just the enthusiasts, the casual collectors through Wave 8. And with that, guys, you know the routine. God bless and keep collecting.